Hello everybody, and welcome to another video. So this video is actually going to start with me doing some pottery in the studio. So I actually do writing and pottery in tandem with each other, and welcome to my studio. I am working on doing the rough draft challenge, so I am trying to do 50,000 words by the end of November. However, obviously some mugs here that need to be trimmed. I've got to do a bunch of throwing. I need to pull some handles for the said mugs because I got to get this all done in the next 2 weeks. Because I plan on launching the Book Lovers collection online on my website on the 28th. If you're interested, make sure to, save the date. But that's kind of the plan, is just to, 1, get the 50,000 words written, and 2, to get all of my beautiful mugs done and ready to sell on my website online. So I don't chat at you for too long, we're going to stop there and we're going to get to work because these mugs need to be trimmed. Yesterday I did a bunch of pottery, so as far as the writing goes for the rough draft challenge, I ended up only getting about 800 words, and that was before I started doing the pottery. The pottery took me several hours because I had to do trimming, pulling handles, and I also threw a bunch more pieces. I'm trying to get all of these pieces done before November 28th. So it's kind of the fun thing about being a multi-passionate artist, is trying to balance and find time for both of the passions that you're doing, right? And a lot of this is culminating in November, at the end of November, because I'm trying to get everything most of the way done so that I can take December off. I definitely am feeling the burnout. I'm definitely kind of pushing to just get to the end of November and be done. Not to say I won't be making pottery or writing or whatever in in December, but like I really need a break from doing like all the social media stuff, the videos, you know, the posts, just like having to do the work. I really kind of want to use December to, one, take a break and rest, which I feel like I really, really need. I've kind of just been pushing really hard this year, and it's been a hard year too on top of it. But then two, just to be able to spend time to play with the clay or play with stories and writing and stuff like that, and have it be more of a fun battery filling time than feeling like I have to do it for social media, or I have to do it to publish the book, or I have to, you know, like it's like doing it for fun versus having to do it. I did actually I was at 27,000-ish words yesterday, and so I actually was ahead. I could have like a lower day, like, you know, only 800 words is what, you know, around 800 words is what I got. So I could have a lower day like that and focus on the pottery because I'd been doing the 2,000 words every day. I do plan on trying to get 2,000 words done today. I will show you what I got done on the wheel. I mean, you saw some of the clips, but I'm actually going to show you how everything turned out and what I'm waiting on and things like that. And yeah, I definitely needed more bub cups, so I spent most of my time throwing those. I got 2 more mugs, and then down here in this box is all the other mugs and bump cups I have that will need handles or need to be drying out. And so these are all the pieces that I'm going to try to have for the book lovers collection. So I know it probably doesn't seem like a lot, but I haven't been selling as much online, so I am kind of keeping this collection smaller because I only have about 2 weeks before all of these pieces need to be done and ready to be listed and ready to have pictures taken of them and stuff like that. So we're kind of pushing the time, but yeah, I'm hoping it'll all work out and we'll have an awesome book lovers collection ready by November 28th. Hi everybody, so I'm giving an update for the 17th. I ended up getting 1,759 words is what I ended up total, which isn't the 2,000 that I kind of been aiming for. But I didn't have as much time today. A lot of it was because just personal stuff, and then the pottery, also, you know, kind of just doing all the usual Monday things, left me with only about like an hour to write. So an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So the fact that I got that many words in that short amount of time was pretty awesome. I was really excited about it. I was kind of struggling there for a while they were kind of having this conversation, and I wasn't sure where I wanted it to go. And then it was really funny, the idea just kind of came out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, I'll do this, and then like it started flowing, and I ended up getting, you know, a lot of words, more than I thought I was going to. I always get more words with dialogue, and I always find an easier time writing dialogue, funny enough. Like, I met what the word count is for today, a little bit over what the word count is. Usually it's like, they say you have to write like 1,600 and stuff. I've just been doing 2,000 at a time, so that way if I have a day where I can't write, like yesterday where I only had 800 words and stuff like that, it's not totally messing up me hitting the 50,000 mark. But, like I said, I didn't have as much time today as I thought I would. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a lot more time to write. And this week is a lot less busy than last week was. So I should be able to get a lot more words in this week. So I'm not really worried about just making the word count this week. Yeah, that's where we're at. And I will see you tomorrow, and we'll see how many words we can get tomorrow. not really a day that I feel up to writing. There's a lot of stuff going on in today, and it was a really rough start to the morning, and everything's behind. Like, I didn't even get my Instagram post up. I didn't get, like, I had to do my Patreon post really quick. I'm behind on everything I planned on doing today. There was just a lot of things that threw me for a loop that I wasn't expecting, and I'm just really tired, and I don't know. Today is a little bit of a struggle. Not gonna lie. I don't really feel like writing, which, I mean, a lot of times when I didn't feel like writing, like last week or the week before and stuff, it was because I had already done like a lot of plotting or things like that. But like today, I just don't even feel like getting into the story. I don't feel like the world. I don't feel like trying. And, you know, normally I'm like happy and peppy and like talking to you about all the words I wrote, and but today is not that day. Today is not that day. I don't know. I am going to try to write, get some words in. I'm not necessarily going to push myself for the 2,000 words. I'm really tired. Like, the fatigue is really bad today. For those of you who don't know, I have like a thyroid condition, and so sometimes if I do too much the day before, or if I do, you know, too much during the day, I just can, you know, like I start, you know, nosediving down, and the fatigue gets worse and worse and worse and worse as the day goes on. I mean, that's part of the reason why I don't like writing at night, is because by the time, you know, 6 o'clock rolls around, I am just done, and I don't want to do anything, and you know, it's, yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at today. Today is just not working, and my brain's not working, and somehow I've got to try to pull myself together and make a Patreon post, possibly post something on Instagram, and get some words done. I'm definitely not going to expect much from myself today. So I did end up kind of hitting my stride. I turned on some music, tried to get myself into the story. So I did end up getting just a little bit over 2,000. I'm definitely stopping there today, and I don't think I'm going to be doing any more writing. Like I said, there's some stuff going on, personal things and stuff, so I don't think any more writing is going to happen today. But I mean, at least I made the 2,000. I wasn't expecting that, but I was kind of getting into more of the like exciting parts of the story, so I think it was a little easier for me to get back into the story and want to write it, because, you know, what happens next, what happens next, what happens next, and so that kind of kept me going. But yeah, so I did end up getting the 2,000 for the day. And yeah, we'll just keep at it, and hopefully we'll stay ahead. Hi everybody, so it is Wednesday. I'm sorry for the mini breakdown I had yesterday. It was a really hard day. I'm feeling a little better today. Things are still kind of so I don't have as much time for writing as I normally do. I thought I was actually going to have to do pottery, but I think the pieces can wait like another day. They're getting close though, so if not like tomorrow being a pottery day, then definitely Friday is going to be a pottery day. And yeah, so today I'm just going to get some writing in. I don't know if I'll hit the 2,000 because I don't have as much time to do it today, and I'm worn out. I'll admit. Part of me kind of just wants to take a break, but because I am kind of where I need to be at as far as like the word count goes. But I'm just worried, like, if I take a break today, then like what happens if, you know, things go awry again and I don't have the time to do, you know, to keep up with the word count or whatever. And I do mostly know what I want the next chapter to be. I'm kind of like halfway in the middle of it, so I don't think that it's going to I don't think it's going to be a big deal to like at least get like 1,000. I'm kind of telling myself that I don't necessarily have to do the 2,000 today. Just try to get at least 1,000, like finish this chapter, and then I can kind of call it quits, and hopefully I'll have enough time to do that. I have been writing pretty fast lately. I don't know if it's because I've been doing it every day, but like I've noticed I've been steadily getting faster and faster and faster. Actually, when I write the next series, that the first book, when I've been writing that one on my off hours, I guess I should say, because I'm not counting the word counts or anything like that towards towards the, you know, 50,000 that I'm doing this month. It's kind of just like an extra fun thing I'm doing on the side. And anyways, those, I've been having some really high word counts, but I think a lot of it is because I've already written that story. Like I had that story pretty much finished before my hard drive died. So I've been getting, you know, like 700 words in 25 minutes kind of thing. Like, and I mean, you know, it's probably not a ton for some people, but for me it's a lot. I'm usually around at like the 400 or 500 mark for like new words, and so the fact that I'm hitting like 700-800 words and almost getting to like 1,000, that's really cool. I'm kind of excited about that. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at, and I did end up getting 2 chapters done of the next series, the first book. So that's kind of where we're at with that one that I'm just writing on the side. I haven't worked on the spin-off at all this week. I just had some things, personal things that just kind of like came out of the woodworks, and so now I'm kind of barely keeping ahead of just even this book, the second book of the Hollow Chronicles. So yeah, it's just, I was expecting this week to be a little bit more chill and have more time, and then something happened and now it's not. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, is just try to get as many words done as I can in that hour, and hopefully it'll be enough. Hi, so I have another update. I ended up getting about 1,400 and something words, which was more than I kind of was expecting, a little bit past what I had kind of planned on. I'm still good. I still am a little bit ahead, even with not getting the 2,000 words today. So I'm kind of just gonna leave it at that. I finished the chapter, and that was really what I wanted to do. I do kind of need to take some time to think through how I want the next couple of chapters to go, because basically there was a big reveal. They figured out a lot of things in this chapter. It's not quite like the climax of the story, but we're getting pretty close, and yeah, I just kind of have to figure out how exactly I want to plan it all. Like, mostly it's whose perspective I want the various chapters to be from for the end, because, you know, yeah, there's a couple of perspectives I definitely want to make sure they have in there. I'm just not sure exactly like what order to put them in. That's where we're at, and I will see you tomorrow. Hi everybody. So I'm here, and I don't really have very much time before I need to go get my kids from the bus stop, and I don't know. I haven't written anything. As you can see, my page is blank. I don't feel like writing anything today. And I find I run into this problem when I've had to do a lot of social stuff. Like, it's harder to access the creativity. It's harder to like push through and get the words when I've just had a ton of social stuff. Like, I had a bunch of business things I had to deal with. I ended up having my writing meeting, which went really well. It's just like, I'm kind of introverted, and it just takes a lot out of me. And I probably did too much peopling today, to be honest. Because I had a bunch of stuff in the morning too, and I don't know. But I don't know. I'm really struggling today. I'm really struggling with writing. I'm really struggling with wanting to write. I just don't want to do it today. You know, a lot of times I can turn on some music, I can kind of get in the mode, I can be like, yeah, I'm gonna get it done today, I'm gonna hit this word count, but, I don't know, I just really don't want to do it today. And like I said, it's just harder for me to pull on the creativity to, like, use it when I've spent so much peopling, you know? Sometimes I wish I wasn't like that, you know? Like, I wish, like, it didn't take so much out of me to do social stuff. There's just nothing. There's nothing coming. Like, it's not working. My brain is just not working. Alright, I'm done. I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. Bye. I'm a little worse for wear today. I've already managed to get clay all over myself. That's just what I do. I live covered in clay. Anyways, I did do a lot of pottery. I didn't get any like videos of me doing them specifically because I was trying to get them done quickly. When I bring out the camera and try to get, you know, nice footage of me doing things, it takes like twice as long. And I have a time limit because I have some appliances that aren't working in my house and I have somebody coming to look at them. So I kind of had to get everything done in enough time that whatever it is I'm doing, I can drop if, you know, there needs questions answered, if I need to like help with it or something, you know. So I wanted to be doing something that wouldn't necessarily like, I don't know, the pottery needed to get done, but I can't just drop that. Like, I usually get clay all over myself, you know, and it usually takes me a long time, couple hours to get like handles put on and stuff like that. So I just kind of had to do it really fast. I will for sure show you what I was doing, how everything turned out, you know, kind of show you all the bits and pieces later. But I didn't have a chance to get any like video recordings of it just because I need to get it done quickly. So today is going to be a writing day, hopefully. I do need to get this video edited as well, so it's going to be me trying to get as many words as I can and get this video edited so that I can get it up on Saturday. And I will admit that I've been struggling this week with writing. With writing the second book. Like, I know that this is a period that I always go through, and I know it's something I have to work through. It's just really hard because I find myself being drawn to what's easy, right? And because I started the second series, the first book of the second series that I'm going to be doing, I kind of find myself just wanting to do that one because I know a lot of the plot. I know a lot of the book. I've already written it, right? And so it's easier to write. But the goal for November was to finish book 2 of this series, and I really need to do that. And I think part of the reason too is I'm someone that if it isn't right, I'm going to quit and start over and do it again. And I have done that with writing. I think that's why it took me so long to get any books out, to have Eyes of Pewter published, because I would just be like, nah, it's no good, I'm rewriting it, and start over from the beginning. And I'm trying really, really hard not to do that. And not to say that I'm not going to like rewrite stuff, but it's like, in the past, I have completely scrapped a draft, started over, and wrote it again. And like, that's what I'm trying hard not to do. And it's hard because there's a lot of good stuff that I've written in the story. There's a lot of stuff I want to keep, but especially the end that I, you know, because I'm getting towards the end, I'm getting kind of, you know, really close to finishing the book. For me, it's just not right. Like, is it good? Yes. Does it work? Yes. But it's not right. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I know that it would work. I know that it would be a good story. I know I probably could, sell it. But it's not right in my head. Like, the story isn't what it's supposed to be. And it's really hard to explain because I don't know if anybody else feels like that with any kind of art form or writing or whatever. But it's like, I know there is a right way. I know there is a way this story needs to happen. And this is not it. And it's not like all of it's wrong. And it's not like it's even bad. It's just not right. And so I'm just struggling and fighting with it and trying to continue and push through when I know it's not right and it's bothering me. It's bothering me so much and I don't want to write it. And then this week has been really stressful too. Just in personal life and stuff, a lot of things have happened this week, just thing after thing after thing, which makes it hard to give myself the time to figure out why it's not right, to figure out how to make it right. And so that's kind of really been a struggle. So, I know you've seen lots of videos of me this week just being like, I don't want to write, I don't want to do this, I don't feel like it. Or like trying to pretend like I'm okay with writing it, but like, the thing is I'm just not. Like, I know something's not right with it. And it's really funny because I was talking to my husband and we were kind of going over, like, he also does stories. He also writes. He's a dungeon master. He has a podcast for his stories. He does his own campaigns and stuff, his own worlds, all that stuff. And so he does know quite a bit about writing. And he and I were talking over the story, and he was making that same face I was making, like, yeah, it works, but it's not right. Like, I know I keep saying that, but like, I think we both came to the realization, like, that it is a story. It's just not the story I want to tell, right? And so, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna try to keep writing, try to keep pushing through. I am definitely gonna write some notes of some things I thought of that might fix certain parts of it. Trying to give myself some grace with the fact that I might just have to give myself the space to think and process this. And I don't know, like, because sometimes sitting there and thinking through it and just letting my mind idle does work. But then sometimes I can't really figure out what needs to happen until I write it, and I write it again, and I write it again. And so, I don't know. I might just push through to get the draft done. And then maybe, December, January, is me rewriting scenes. Maybe it's not, I go into editing. It's just, I don't know. I'm still kind of trying to work this out, right? Because I only have one book out. I've only got self-published one book. And so I'm still in that phase of trying to figure out what works best for me and what my writing process looks like, what I need to do and don't need to do. So, yeah. But I don't want to not give myself the opportunity to do the rewriting if that's how my brain works, If I just need to sit down and write 5 different scenes, or the same scene 5 different times, then I want to be able to give myself the time to do that. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of just mulling it over. I am struggling with the writing right now. I'm struggling with how I want the book to end. Like, I know what the ending is. I know how I want it to end. It's just like the process of getting there that's just not right. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And that's what I'm going to be working on right now, today. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I've got them all in here, and I'm actually going to candle them for several hours so they can kind of dry out a little faster. Hopefully I can bisque them tomorrow. if not Sunday. But I'm trying to get this collection done by like next Friday basically, so yeah, I do need to give myself enough days to get pictures and listings and all that kind of stuff up and weigh and measure them all and test them to make sure the food's safe, stuff like that. Thanks, airplane. Alright, hopefully that's better. Anyways, so just to make sure I have enough time to do all that, I'm gonna try to dry them out a little faster than, you know, naturally letting them dry out. I'm not worried about it though, because it's been pretty wet here. So, you know, the handles and the cups themselves really are pretty even in their drying. So I'm not super worried about it. But yeah, we're just gonna get this thing going and we'll see whether or not, it'll probably be in the next video next week for the rough draft challenge, whether or not I end up biscuing them and glazing them and getting them all done and ready to go for the launch on the 28th of November. So yeah.